What's up, Summoners? King Blair here. Today, I want to talk to you guys about a concept that will help you be better at the game and just enjoy the game overall. And that is going to be positive player mentality and how you can use it to improve at the game. So if you like the video, make sure you like, subscribe, and join the Discord server. You guys have been doing amazing on the subs, and make sure you subscribe to stay updated on the videos that are coming out. I have a lot of stuff planned out for you guys, especially tomorrow, coming out with the video on units you can start building right now and artifacts that will help you in the upcoming meta with Celine and Emo Violet, who are going to be very big threats. But without further ado, let's get right into it. So positive player mentality. What we're going to be talking about is what it is, how you can use it, and then examples. So first we'll start with the definition, then PvP examples, particularly RTA, and then some general examples with PvE and with gear, because that's the things that are the biggest RNG factors that you really need to stay positive and use positive player mentality when you're playing the game. So the reason why I actually thought of this video, I wanted to tell you guys some of the inspiration behind the creation. So the biggest thing is today I actually had the chance to participate in a tournament hosted by Cafe Cos, who is a Twitch streamer for Epic 7 and for other games, who streams every single day. He hosted a tournament, I signed up for it, I got to participate in it, and it was a lot of fun. But my first round, description of his Twitch stream in the descriptions. Follow him, check him out, he's pretty cool. Pretty awesome dude. I really enjoyed the tournament that he hosted. It was amazing. So make sure I'll put the description for his Twitch channel in the descriptions. I think I said that weird. But so in that tournament, I scrubbed out, y'all. I did terrible. I bombed it. It was on live stream. I was like one of the higher seeds. I don't know how I got the high seed, but I was one of the higher seeds. And I got completely obliterated by my opponent in a way that it would make people want to quit the game or just like take a break for a while. But I didn't react that way. I actually still had a lot of fun. I learned a lot, and it made me realize something that it helped me become a better player, and just it made me want to make this video and tell you guys about my experience, and just I realized overall and think on what my experiences are. So the thing that happened, I just want to go over quickly. Part of the example of positive player mentality. It'll make more sense as I go along. But my opponent, who played a really smart game, took really big risks in the champ select, and then just obliterated me with his choices. He picked Charles. So the thing that happened, the defining moment of the fight, was I picked my Kayron. I used my S3 for Kayron on the Charles. The Charles had a counterattack set, and he was able to counterattack on my Kayron, which is a 35% chance. So remember that. When he counterattacks, 35% chance. Counterattacks on my Kayron, who is a fire unit. He hits the first skill and then procs the second skill with a 15% chance to proc. So like procs it, crits again, even though my Kayron is fire. So back-to-back crits, strips my Kayron mortality, and that was it. That was the fight. On stream, everyone was like, GG, that Charles wrecked you. And it's true, that Charles destroyed me. But it's something that a lot of things went wrong for me. My Kayron didn't proc Alexa's basket. His Charles counterattacked. His Charles counterattacked both times. His Charles critted both times, and he stripped. So all these things went wrong for me, and all these things are RNG things that that won't happen to you often, happen. But instead of being upset about it, it really got me thinking about my weaknesses as an RTA player, and I built on them. So, and I did that using positive player mentality. So I would keep saying this phrase, positive player mentality. What do I mean by that? That phrase has two things that are like the cores of it. Thing number one, playing the game to have fun, enjoying the game. So you guys are like, you're being super cheesy. What do you mean enjoy the game? That's basic knowledge, right? But y'all, you would be surprised. And even you right now, watching this video, are probably like, you know, he's right. I haven't been enjoying Epic 7 as much. So playing the game to have fun, it is the most important thing. Something got you to click this video. Something got you to start playing Epic 7. For me, it was the art, the storyline. I love the characters, which is why I play Kayrons, because I love Kayron. But that's the thing. You love this game and you enjoy this game. So you should play it to enjoy it. You shouldn't treat it like a job. You shouldn't treat it as something that's frustrating. If you're not having fun with the game, I highly recommend you take a break. You might need to hear that from someone else, but I personally, so personal backstory about Epic 7, I personally was very busy at the time, so I'm in college, and one of the biggest things is I didn't have the chance to play Epic 7 as much. Things weren't going well for me. I was hard stuck, like hard stuck in Arena. I could not leave Challenger 5 for the life of me. And this scenario might sound familiar. All my roles never got speed, always went into effectiveness. And I was like, what the heck am I going to do with that? You know, like that doesn't help me. How the heck am I going to climb to champion? So I was really frustrated with the game. I was in a bad place with the game, and I already was really busy with life. So I was like, you know what? I need a break. I took a break for 3 months. I think even 4 months, where I occasionally logged in, did my dailies, and then left. And then for like one to 2 months, I didn't even touch it. I think I even deleted the app at one point. But then I was like, you know, I kept seeing stuff and on online. I was like, let me get back into it. And when I got back into it, I put these things that I learned from League of Legends, actually, that I played a lot. And it was positive player mentality and using that to start enjoying your game again. So thing number one, enjoy the game. Take that break. If you need a break from the game because you're frustrated, take that break. I highly encourage you to do it. A lot of people that I know have come back to Epic 7 after taking a break and propelled themselves in Arena because they got the break that they needed, they got the clear head, and are playing the game again to have fun. And that's how they're able to propel themselves. They started doing all PvE teams, and it's just amazing. So that's thing number one for positive player mentality. Part number two is taking bad experiences and reacting positively to them and using it to your advantage. So this is the part that you really need to use to become a better player. This is the part that you actually really need to care about. So if you've sunned out, you have me on the background, maybe you're playing another game, maybe you're playing grinding Epic 7, this is the part you really need to listen to. You need to use your negative experiences to get better at the game. So what do I mean by that? So in life and in Epic 7, there are a lot of things you can't control. I can't control the Charles counterattacking me, 30% chance. I can't control me not getting a stun. I can control my opponent resisting. And those are things that are frustrating, that are not going to make you be happy. They're definitely going to be negative experiences for you. Or maybe you get matched up with someone in Arena who's much stronger than you and absolutely murks you. So these experiences are supposed to be learning moments for you. You need to control your reactions. So you may not be able to control all of the things that happen to you in real life or in the game, but you can control how you react to them. You can either be frustrated, you can be upset, you can rage, and you can be like, this game stinks. And a lot of people do react that way, especially towards RTA, which is the first example I'm gonna tell you. But instead, I highly encourage you to, whenever something bad happens to you, don't think of it as raging, think of it, how could I have done better? Because 99% of the times, you could have won a fight if you did something differently. It doesn't matter that the RNG didn't go your way. You always could have done something differently. And if you don't realize that, you need to realize it now. Because whenever something wrong happens, you can learn from it. You can become better. And that is the most important thing you need to remember about positive player mentality, is taking negative experiences, making them positive, and building on them to become a better player. So let's start talking about some examples on how you can use this and how this applies to everything. So the biggest one is going to be RTA. Y'all, in Reddit, in like Facebook, all the groups that I follow, so many people complain about RTA. And they're like, this is a whale's playground. This is only for late game players. This game mode is boring. This game mode sucks. I can't climb. I see so many negative comments about RTA, and it's one of my favorite game modes. And you're like, what the heck? Are you a masochist? Or is it because you're a whale? And maybe a little bit of both. But the biggest thing with this game mode is so many people want the Spectre Tenebris skin, right? And the biggest thing is when you queue up, a lot of people who are in bronze, silver, gold, the second they hit that find the opponent button, they'll go like that. And then they instantly go like, oh, GG, I lost. They're going to be better than me. They have better gear than me. I can't win. I can never win. Because everyone just has the best units. I have trashy units. Like, I have nothing. I have terrible units. I can never climb. The second you start thinking that way, you already lost your fight. It doesn't matter if your opponent actually had better gear than you. It doesn't matter if your opponent actually had better units than you. You already lost because you have a negative perspective. And that puts you on tilt. And that's what you want to avoid. Tilt often happens when things don't go our way and we start losing back-to-back fights. And that's something that will happen to you. It happens to me. And I get tilted from time to time. And the second that happens, quit RTA. Don't stop fights for that day. Try again tomorrow. Don't come into RTA with a negative mentality. What you need to be thinking is positively and try to learn from your experiences. So, all right. So we talked about queuing up. Now let's talk about an example. So as I told you guys, let's talk about my personal struggles as an RTA player. So you guys know I hate champion. But one of the biggest things, if I go to my units, you guys will see that I'm not doing too hot on the tank department. I don't have a Fawn Cecilia. I don't have a Crow. I don't have a. I just got my first my Royal Light because I pulled for her because it's one of my solutions that I found out. But I don't have that many tanky units. That built. I don't have my Cecilia. I don't have Ross yet. Yes, I built him now, but that's not the point of this part. So I don't have a lot of front lines built right now. And I realized that that was my weakness as a player. I realized I was losing a lot of fights because I only had offensive units. So I was like, okay, I kept losing and losing. And instead of thinking, man, I don't have a Fallen Cecilia would make everything so much easier for me. I don't have an Athletica. I don't have good speed rolls. I can't outspeed my opponent. I didn't think that way. The way I thought whenever I queued onto RTA and lost a fight to the super tank teams with Diani, Kral, FCC, Alencia, units I don't have, and they're using, instead of being like, oh, I can't compete with them because I don't have those units, I'm going to get murked. Instead of thinking that way, I was like, okay, I need tanks, right? So what did I do in reaction to that? I started building my Ross. You guys saw him. I just recently specialty changed him. He doesn't require Molagora, so why the heck wouldn't I build him? Boom, tank. I looked back at the units I have, and I was like, wait a minute. I have a Cecilia. What am I doing? And I started putting gear on her because I was like, she's a fire tank, provokes. This is amazing. This is great. This is great against Alencia. Let me put some gear on her. That's how I reacted. Instead of reacting like, oh, I can't compete because I don't have Fallen Cecilia. I don't have XYZ. I don't have this unit. I was like, let me see the units I do have. What can I do to be better? And then let's go back to the Charles example. So with the Charles example, there's a lot of things. I mentioned the RNG, but one of the biggest things is I had the opportunity to pick my own Charles. He first picked Dizzy. I could have picked Charles. And that's a mistake I made in the champ select against my opponent during the stream. I should have picked my Charles. I didn't do it though, and I lost the fight for it. So instead of thinking Charles OP, I'm like, okay, Charles is OP. Let me actually like start using him more. And I learned from that experience, y'all. Instead of being frustrated at the game, I was able to take that negative experience and learn from it. All my losses in RTA, I'm always like, what could I have done differently? So that's the big, I can't stress you guys enough how important it is for you to learn from your mistakes. Another thing for RTA, let's say you're losing a lot to Athletica. So I was losing to Athletica all the freaking time. Every time someone put Athletica, I automatically lose. So I was like, you know what? I'm done losing to Athletica. So what did I do? My Charon was already speed. So I was like, okay, my Charon's already fast. And then I was like, what can guarantee me a win? So I started looking at my units and I was like, you know what? Emo Haste is a Soul Weaver. It can help me if they pick Arbiter Villagin. And if I don't pick it when I don't have a Reviver, they won't ban him because they think he's useless. So the Athletica attacks, he's going to proc his Idol's Cheer and give my Charon the turn. So I was like, okay, I'm frustrated against Athletica. But instead of being like, Athletica broke, I was like, why not I just do this? And ever since that day, I have not lost to an Athletica. Because no one bans Emo Haste, no one expects a Charon to outlap them. It's that simple. I found the solution with units I already had because I was able to use my experience against Athletica to make me be a better player. Another thing, it's like I always notice my Spectre Tenebria dies. So what did I do? As much as I hated to do this, I pulled for Roll of Light. Like you were like, oh, why did you pull for Roll of Light? Because I realized I was missing something. Even though Emerald Violet was coming out, I knew full well Emerald Violet was coming out. And I was prepared to use my Mystic Summons on Ruel and miss out on Emerald Violet. Why? Because I knew my Spectre Tenebria needs Ruel to do really well on RTA. So that's why I decided to use it and take that gamble, and I was rewarded for the gamble. But that's how you have to think. I can't give you any like more examples. I can give you so many examples of scenarios where like you might find yourself losing against a certain unit. You already probably have the answer in your hero inventory. You just haven't built it yet. You just haven't decided to use it yet. For me, for the Charles, after today, y'all, this Sermia, she's getting built. Like whether it's in 1 month or 2 months, she's getting built. I don't want to lose to a Charles the way I did today. Because that was frustrating, that was intimidating. I lost to that Charles, but instead of being like Charles OP, I'm like, why not just build Sermia? Wipe him out of the freaking map. You can't counterattack if you're dead, right? So why not build Sermia? Boom. Ideas. Positive player mentality. Using my negative experience to build another unit. So that's an example for RTA. I know it's really repetitive, and I could give you a million examples of different scenarios where I learned because I was frustrated with the character, but instead of keeping that frustration, I used it to become a better player. And that's what I'm trying to get you guys to think about. The other thing is PvE. Y'all, Abyss is one of the most freaking tilting places in this game, but it's also my favorite because it's just so much stuff goes on, especially stage 90. Y'all, this stage, it's the stuff made of nightmares. I could go into examples of this and how hard it was for me to clear it, but the one I want to talk about is stage 100 because it's more current for me. So as you guys know, you have to crit in this stage. And I realized as I was playing over and over again, I was like, okay, I have Challenger Dami, I have Tamarine. I was like, okay, I don't have Iseria. All the guys use Iseria. And I was like, what can I do? I don't have Iseria, right? So I was like, okay, Challenger Dami gives them 100% crit, right? And right now, the other reason I built Ross was because I realized in Abyss, as I was playing it, instead of being like, I don't have Iseria, I'm just going to wait to pull her. I can't wait that long. I can't wait till I pull Iseria. I don't know when her next banner is. So instead of waiting that long, I started thinking of solutions. And the solution I found is, hey, Ross defense breaks can also hold another Knight artifact and dual attacks with Challenger Dami, so you can do damage. And I was like, that's perfect. So that's why I started building Ross. And I've been working on Ross so I can clear the stage in Abyss. And that's the thing you have to do with like these stages. You have to be positive about it. You have to keep a positive mind to it. If you get destroyed in an Abyss stage, find out why. What can you use? Y'all, there's so many people that say, oh, I don't have Tama, oh, I don't have Iseria, I can't clear the PvE content. Yes, Tama makes it stupid easy. I'm not going to lie to you guys about that. But is she the only option? No. There's literally a person that clears stage 100 Abyss with Ross, Kitty Cat Clarissa, Shuri, and then I forgot who the other unit was, but it was another unit that could dual attack, and it wasn't Tama because there was no Soul Weavers. And I was like, who thought of that? I think it was T-Guard, Terra Norgard. And this guy cleared stage 100. Yo, look up the video. It's insane. It's like no healer, Abyss stage 100. And you guys are like, did he use Tama? No. Did he use Challenger Dami? No. So you guys that are frustrated because you don't have her, y'all, take that experience, figure out what unit can help you, and you'll might find yourself surprised with how many good units there are in this game that you can use. The other place where this happens a lot is going to be hunts. So for Wyvern 13, y'all, there's a full free-to-play team for this stage. You don't need to have Dizzy, you don't need to have Seaside to clear the stage. You can literally have Angelica, who you'll eventually pull because she's a 4-star. Most people pull all the 4 stars at this point in the game. You got Alexa, you got Furious, who's also free to play, and then Terran Regard. It's basically a free to play team that can clear the stage without Seaside, without Dizzy. Now, Dizzy and Seaside, are they amazing? Yes, they're super broken, but you don't need to have them to clear Wyvern. So that's what I want you guys to think about. There are other options. Don't be frustrated. Don't think, I don't have the unit, I can't play the game. Don't think that way. Think, I don't have this unit, how can I make it work? And that's the biggest thing. The last point of RNG that I want to talk to you guys about is gear. Of course, you guys know gear is one of the most frustrating things in this game. And they try to make it easier. But the biggest thing with gear, y'all, is eventually, I know it's frustrating, but eventually you'll be able to have good gear. In the meantime, just work well with what you have. Like, you guys are going to like laugh at me. And I think I even talked about it when I showed you guys in the equipment guide. But my Kayron has one of the worst necklaces possible. Like, this is trash. Yo, look at this. This is trash. This is like flat stab. And like, I reforged it. And you're like, why in your right mind would you do that? You know why I did it? Because I had nothing better. And I still have to play the game. So, you know, it's like, I don't have anything better. I have all these reforged materials. So why don't I just do this? And my Kayron, you guys are like, your Kayron's broken. And yes, he has a lot of really good stats. But I also have equipment that I'm not proud of, but it's the best thing I have. And sometimes you have to work with what you have, y'all. So work with what you have. Try to stay positive. Someday you will get the stats. One day you will get the right roll. I got the right roll on this guy, on this equip. This is my 5th sword in Abyss, and I finally rolled it good. In Raid, my bad, not Abyss. So it's like, just stay positive, y'all. It will come. You will get that broken piece of gear. There will come a day where you're going to be rolling and you're going to get that amazing piece of gear that you're like, this is it. And until then, you know, not all gear is trash. Look at who's using my other gear, like the failed equips. I'm using it to try out new units. Look at that, I'm Tywin. He's over here repping those bad speed stats. Look at that. All effectiveness, that's alright. We're using it on ML Tywin. This one didn't have any offensive stat, but we're rolling with it because it has main stat speed. So you gotta work with what you have. You're never gonna have the OP gear, but you can still make units. You can still have fun with the game, y'all. It's so important to have fun with the game. So alright, to wrap it all up, positive player mentality, have fun with the game, and use your negative experiences to be better at the game. Whenever there's something frustrating, whenever you think something is broken, whenever you think something doesn't go your way, you need to try to think of how you can get yourself out of that situation. You want to think how you can improve. So I know this is a confusing video. I don't know if you guys will like it or not. Leave down in the comments if you like this type of video. If you think I should just go back to playing actual Epic 7 content instead of making these meta-analysis. Not meta-analysis, but like meta, like as in like high thinking analysis. Just let me know in the comments, especially if you made it this far. I really value your opinion. The people that watch the whole video, I really like, I appreciate the support and all the comments you guys give, even the negative ones. The haters, keep hating. You guys are making me even better. So that's all I have for you guys today. I will see y'all next time. Peace.